Hello everybody, I'm Ken Gordon with the Ford Protect SDR Profit Builder Program. Welcome to F&I Focus, the only podcast dedicated to building better F&I departments throughout the country. Today we're going to talk about getting back to the basics. Too often, and especially once we've been in the position for a while, we tend to drift away from the very things that made us successful in the beginning. So there's several items to discuss on this topic, including the responsibilities of the F&I department manager, the products that you offer, the process by which you actually deliver vehicles, and of course, compliance. Today, I'm just going to touch on each one of these, and in future episodes of F&I Focus, we'll break down each one individually and get into a little bit more detail. So let's start with F&I department responsibilities and compliance because they coexist. They kind of live together. They're part of each other. Compliance in car dealerships has become a serious hot button. Usually it falls upon the F&I manager to be the watchdog in regards to compliance. You are the one that finalizes the paperwork for every transaction and are therefore the last opportunity to make sure everything was done legally and ethically. Never, ever let down your guard when it comes to compliance. If I asked you what is the number one responsibility of the F&I department manager, what would you say? Many of you might say to make money for the dealership, and that, my friends, would be wrong. So our philosophy on this is that today's F&I manager has four main responsibilities. Number one, deliver the car. This is the first and most important of the four because nobody gets paid in the dealership until a car is sold and delivered over the curb burning gas. Number two, cover the dealer's assets. This is the one that deals with compliance. Make sure when you're completing the paperwork and discussing options with your customer that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted. Do everything right. Number three, cash flow. Get the finance contracts cashed and the checks turned into the back office in a timely manner. Get the money in-house. And number four, make money. We believe that if you take care of the first three, that number four almost always takes care of itself. You will make money for your department. As for the products that you offer, the best advice that I can give you here is to study the product contracts. Understand the brochures, but study the contracts. Read and get familiar with all the fine print within the contract. Someday, a customer is going to ask you a technical question about a product, and you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to hem and haw and struggle for the answer, or you're going to know the answer because you already did the homework. So let's talk about the process for delivering vehicles. Start with the customer interview. Now, I use the term interview, but it's really just a conversation that you'll have with the customer to help you better help them complete the transaction. So complete the interview on the sales floor at the salesperson's desk. Why do we suggest this? Simple, because the customer's in a comfort zone. They've been in the dealership for an hour or two or three working with a salesperson. Maybe they've met a sales manager at this point. You understand what I'm saying? They're comfortable. Don't take them out of that situation just yet. They made a buying decision and they should feel good about it and excited. So go out and meet them in their comfort zone. During the interview, set the expectation by telling the customer who you are and what your responsibilities are as they pertain to their deal. You're there to assist them with their funding needs, answer any questions they have, and get them on their way as soon as possible. Ask questions to gain knowledge about their driving habits. For example, how long do they keep the vehicle? How many miles do they typically drive per year? Once the interview is complete, excuse yourself, prepare the menu based upon the interview, bring the customer in, and make your menu presentation. The most important things to remember here are: do not skip steps, do not prejudge your customers, and always make your full presentation. Being a successful F&I manager is like being a great quarterback. Practice and give 110% effort on every single play. No exceptions, no excuses. Now here's a follow-up point on the delivery process. Watch the wait. The meter starts running when the customer says yes to the sales consultant. From that point forward until the process is complete, nothing is more important than that customer and that deal. The transition from sales to F&I is a critical component of each and every deal. At no time should your customer be left alone to ponder what just happened. Oh my God, did I just buy a car? Sales consultants should neither leave the customer unattended during the transition, nor should the F&I manager attend to any other business until that customer is taken care of and driving home in their new vehicle. The longer it takes to transfer the customer from the sales office to the F&I office, the more difficult it becomes to achieve your fourth responsibility, which is to make money for your department, your dealer, and yourself. Research from auto industry experts found that the time span between sales and F&I should be no more than 7 to 10 minutes. The closer you are to 7 minutes, the better. If the interval is more than 10 minutes, the customer begins to get fidgety, and their satisfaction with the dealership and the F&I profitability both take a dip. When people wait, they get aggravated. Grumpy people have no patience for listening, which makes it more difficult for you to complete a quality menu presentation. So there you have it, friends. Some thoughts and ideas on getting back to the basics. Thanks for joining me. Make it a great day. I'm Ken Gordon with the Ford Protect SDR Profit Builder Program. I'll see you next time on F&I Focus.